fellow American Ann Lee,
Play.
who will get us going. It's a nice start. Won the toss and decided to serve, which
15
isn't always
love.
the case these days. I thought that was a nice positive decision as well.
Serve has been a big weapon for Ann Lee, particularly over this event, over this last week. She's hit a lot of aces. She's second in the tournament in terms of aces hit so far. And that will be a big shot for her. Help her control the middle of the court.
Of course, there's a settling in period, isn't there? First match inside this incredible stadium. 24,000 seater, there or thereabouts. So a very different feel to not just playing in front of a big crowd. You've had experience of playing on this court, Chanda. A lot of the players talk about
15-30.
the perception of the court in terms of the big spacing, I suppose. It's such a huge playing area. It's not just the number of people you're playing in front of and the size of the stands, but actually getting a feel of the playing dimensions in a funny kind of way. Obviously the court's the same size, but it's a very different feel to playing on one of the field courts here.
There's a lot of space around this court, a lot of
15-40.
space at the back, a lot of space at the sides, and then of course if you focus on the stands themselves, it goes up very high and it's sort of cavernous, and you can feel a little bit lost the first time you walk out onto court. Something you have to get used to immediately.
Game, Pegula.
So last
Good
year's,
start.
yeah, last year's finalist with an early
First
break.
game.
Yeah, the size of the court. I suppose a normal stadium court would probably stop at the top of the suite.
The setting.
So up a break, 1-0. It's been a smooth passage so far for Jessica Pegula. Yet to drop a set in the tournament. As you mentioned, Chandra, in the warm-up.
15
It wasn't
love.
quite the summer that Jess had this time last year, was it? Was playing some great tennis, winning a lot of matches at 1,000 level on the WTA Tour. That's not been the case coming into the US Open, but here she is in the fourth round without losing a set.
She's just so solid from the ground, and she's going to get opportunities against Lee.
30 love.
Stepping in beautifully on that backhand.
Just the 1 point dropped so far.
That's an area Pegula can continue to
40 love.
throw into matches. Her ability to move forward, you know, it's a maybe underutilized part of her game, but she's a beautiful mover. She's got good hands.
Game, Pegula.
Perfect starts then for the favourite on paper, the higher ranked of the two.
Pegula leads by 2 games to
titles
love.
this year
First
coming
set.
in Austin. That was early in the season. One in Charleston on American clay. And then won a grass court title this summer as well. Pegula was in Germany, heading into Wimbledon. In fact, beat Iga Swiatek in that grass final, who then of course went on to win Wimbledon.
Out. 15 love.
She's got to settle in here, and it helps to get that first point, the first couple of points here, if she can manage it. just to relax the nerves a little bit more. Think about Ann Lee choosing to serve, and usually that's a confident play, you know, especially if you aren't used to surroundings. You a lot of times might want to give yourself a chance to hit a few balls to return first, and she elected to serve. Just hope that doesn't come back to be a problem if she cannot recover from getting broken in that first game. I always think, Lee, you've got to kind of be aware of how you're feeling and be honest about it. You know, you may want to project as confident, and you may not be. And in that case, you know, making the decision to receive first, that could potentially make a huge difference in terms of the set.
Oh. 30-all.
Came in with good form, Ann Lee, one of the players who played a tournament just before the US Open. That takes place same week as Fan Week, while the qualifying's happening here. Played in Cleveland and made a final there, lost to Castella in the final. So certainly was one of the players to keep an eye on, one of the unseeded players.
So from 30 love, Lee now facing another break point. Mark Knowles currently part of Pegula coaching team alongside Mark Merklin, who is just to the right. Nosy. There he is. They've made a good pair in terms of helping Pegula. She'd worked with David Witt for many years. And when she made the change, just kind of wondered, you know, how quickly she'd be able to settle in to different voices. And
advantage Pegula.
Major at a, excuse me, her first final at a major at last year's US Open, and that was just a huge milestone after making so many quarterfinals and not quite being able to get over that hump.
She's known for quality off the return.
Pegula
has been
by 3 games to love
for the number 4 seed so far, completely in control. So Jessica Pegula with a double break already, serving from the sunnier end of the court. Sometimes a challenge, this first match of the day, from the far end, just judging the ball toss and dealing with any overheads. Jess was talking in press about, she was asked whether playing on this court, you know, is an advantage for her. So, yes, with the American support against, you know, other top players, but absolutely, definitely, if I'm playing someone who hasn't played on this court before, it gives you an edge, I think, in the first few games. I wonder how difficult that shadow is to get used to as well for Ann Lee. It's quite specific to this stadium, isn't it, this time of day?
I think it's a little bit tougher picking the ball up
love 30
from the sun to the shadows, and the side that Ann Lee is currently on. I mean, everybody may be a little bit different, but when it crosses that shadow, that's where you really have to watch the ball. Try to maintain the focus, the timing.
(15-30).
Working with Carlos Boluda for the last year or so, Spanish coach. Nice move forward. And, so far,
30-all.
very good shape, looking so calm as she often does.
It's another game where Ann Lee was up the first 2 points, and Pegula again getting it back even.
Too much of a gap.
And that was the perfect play from Pegula.
30-40.
Not much that she did wrong here. It's coming from a little bit further back, but the slice set up just was a fantastic shot from Ann Lee.
So a chance to regain one of the 2 breaks. Second serve to look at as well. And that's a great response. Signs that the lower ranks of these two are just starting to settle into this environment.
Well, that was her first winner of the match for Ann Lee, to generate the break point, then to close it out and just get on the board.
Encouragement for the team after that forehand pass and the break of serve. A quick reminder to download the US Open app. You can follow all your favourite players, track the scores, stats, match highlights on there, player news as well on a day-by-day basis, match reports, previews, watch live 3D views of all singles matches available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. It's Carlos. I've been pleased with that forehand pass.
(30-love).
Get that first game on the board, you just can take a few deep breaths and feel like you're into the match. And then if you can hold serve, you are truly working with something.
30-15.
Until you get that first game, it just feels like you are, quickly going off a cliff, and that may not actually be the case. It's just the way it feels in front of the crowd on a big stadium like this. Nobody wants to lose a set 6-love.
Yeah, well done. Had to watch that final overhead carefully. And this is turning into a nice service game on the back of the break.
Well, that's the first point up at the net for Lee, and that is an area she is so comfortable. She's got to make more of these moves, figure out ways, even if it's early in the rally, figure out ways to get inside the court.
(40-30).
Lindsay Davenport looking on, the Billie Jean King Cup captain for the U.S., so she's got some interest in these 2 Americans.
It's tough to deal with, that sort of power and the depth of the Pegula ball.
And just listen to the sound. It is so crisp off of her racket. She is one of the cleanest ball strikers in the game. Short takebacks. It doesn't look like she's hitting the ball big, but those balls are moving quickly through the air.
Played the mixed during Fan Week with Jack Draper. To be a popular team on this court. Win over Raducanu and Alcaraz in the first round. Jess played some good doubles. Obviously, he's had a history with doubles. Success on the doubles court in the past, so a huge surprise she looked so comfortable.
Well, when they were up, and you wondered if Jack Draper was maybe feeling something physically then. He ended up withdrawing from the event. But they were right there. And it was fun to watch. Pegula now with another break point.
Again, the quality of the return of serve is suffocating.
Pegula leads by 4 games to 1.
Delighted with another break. Well done, yeah. No, it's important, isn't it? Fans get to know the other sides of these players.
Love.
Has continued to go sideways for An Lee. She's got a game on the board, but she has not been able to hold serve, and that is very disruptive to it's disruptive to a player finding a rhythm in a match. And the first order of business is always holding serve and working from there. So her coach is trying to get her to calm down a bit. A lot of unforced errors. 8 so far. Not enough winners to offset for An Lee. Think about Lee maybe trying to get into the net. That's an area she is such strength of her game, but it's difficult against Pegula when she's hitting so long and through the court. Those balls are deep. There's not a lot of opportunity to get forward.
Fine forehand, catching the line that time.
I think in An Lee's case, if you're struggling to get into the net and that's what you're trying to do, you've got to do it on those first balls. A second serve return, you've got to take a little more risk, hit it and come forward.
Game, Pegula.
You may even be able to throw in a serve and volley here or there. You may still lose the point, but at least you're adding a little something more for Pegula to have to think about instead of just playing her straight up from the ground. That is not where An Lee wants to be most often. I mean, she can hang with players from the ground, but you got to throw a little bit else, something else into the mix as well.
It's been a rapid 6 games, 22 minutes. An Lee serving to stay in this first set, trading 5-1.
Love 15.
Serve numbers haven't been as good as they have through the tournament. Chanda mentioned the quality of the serving through the opening 3 rounds. 22 aces through 3 matches. Just over 7 per match, the average. First serve percentage just over the 50 mark right now. Probably not helped by serving from that end of the court right now. Looking up into the sun.
15 all.
One of 11 second serve points won.
Let for service.
I feel like that's been a theme of some of the matches I've been watching this week, when you get a low-ranked player playing a top, top 10 player, top 5 player,
15,
because that first serve number is so important. As soon as you're thrown in a second, those top players are so good at punishing you.
And the other part of the problem for Lee is that she isn't winning as high a percentage of points behind the first serve. A low first serve percentage, and it's compounded by low percentage of points won behind it.
It's
been one of the quicker sets we've seen this week. Jessica Pegula in a ruthless mood inside our Thrash Stadium. 2 set points. Well under half an hour on court.
$30-40.
This time, Pegula converts. That's a near-perfect set of tennis for the number 4 seed.
Please.
Everything going according to plan so far for Pegula, who takes it 6-1. Run on home soil once more.
Out. 15 love.
Oh.
30 love.
Pegula continues to be very quick with her decision making and getting up to the net, closing off the court.
It's clever, making all the right choices too.
40 love.
It's just too good.
Yeah, great serve, wasn't it? Hitting the spots
First
that
game,
time.
second set.
Doesn't look like she's putting forth a lot of energy, but the contact point, her spacing, that's always the key.
There's not much drama either, is there? I mean, maybe, I know it's something
15
that
love.
the team was talking about a year ago. They want maybe a bit more emotion if she's playing in front of a big crowd, and use the advantage of playing as a home player at the US Open. But on days like these, it's everything's so calm.
Love.
I think it's tough to get too far out of what your norms are. I mean, there are certain matches where you've got to do that and you've got to kind of get beyond where you normally are. But I think overall, this is where Pegula competes and plays her best. Some of it is a bit of a quiet fire. I mean, there are matches where you can see she's a little irritated, or she, is trying to pump herself up a little bit more. It may not be as much as some of the more you know, players that emote more,
Yeah.
but you can see it. You can see that it's there. And for top players, that's the main thing. I
40,
actually
15.
think Ann Lee is kind of similar. You don't see a lot of emotion in her either, but these are the moments where she's got to find a little bit more. There's not a lot of energy from the crowd. Some of the points have been short, and there's not a lot of rhythm in the match so far. First match of the day, it can feel a little bit dead. She's got to figure out, Ann Lee, how to get a little more energy into this match. And this should help.
Game Lee.
You see the fist pump at the end, just showing you
One
that
game
she's
more,
digging in, and
second set.
sometimes projecting, even if you're not feeling it all the way. That's the best thing.
Yeah, the meeting in Paris became tighter as the match went on. That was at Roland Garros this year, second round. Pegula winning that one in straights, but it was 6-3, 7-6, so forced a breaker in the second set.
Fifteen love.
First ace for Pegula.
Love.
Would you like to see Ann Lee take a bit more of a gamble when she's looking at second serves?
I think she should. I think she should absolutely just give Pegula a little more to think about when she goes to hit that shot. I think a lot of it is, you know, going through a checklist in a match. You don't necessarily want to take more risks than
40
you
love.
need to, but when you look at how the match is going, you're down a set, you haven't had any real looks in return games. Now you've got to change it up a little bit. Do something different, even if it's on 1 or 2 points within that return game.
Oh. 40-15.
I also think when you are down like 40 love, or it's a time to take a little more risk. You're probably going to lose that game anyway if it stays status quo.
Game Pegula.
Pinpoint precision once more from
Pegula
Pegula.
leads by 2 games to 1.
Looking
second
smooth
set.
today.
And by 1 set to love.
The women's singles today, bottom half of the men's singles, fourth round tennis to enjoy, last 16. So quarter-final spots up for grabs today. Serious business. This final major of the year.
15 love.
Reminder that if Pegula does finish off this contest, she'll play either Krejcikova or Taylor Townsend. Taylor's been one of the stories here this year, beating Andreeva. Oh, what a shame. Built the points nicely.
15 all.
And you see how beautifully Ann Lee can strike the ball and can be explosive. She's got whipping ground strokes, especially on that forehand side. Can counter it with the slice on the backhand. Still trying to find that consistent range.
Just 25 years of age, so whatever happens today, it's the sort of run you can build on as a player. It's been a good summer. I'll take her to around the sort of territory where she's been before in terms of the rankings. Best ranking of 44. She'll be in that sort of region. With this run to the 4th round, a nice
15-14.
boost to the bank balance as well, isn't it, this sort of run?
I mean, if you look at An Lee's game and her skill set, she absolutely should be consistently higher than around 50 in the world. Top 30, top 20 easily, and maybe even beyond. But a lot of it has to do with the mindset then, the mental side. And also the belief in some of the big moments. Pegula, though, with multiple break points here.
And more of the same.
Game Pegula.
Piling on the pressure.
Pegula leads by 3 games to 1.
Another
Second set.
early return of serve and breathing space once more early in this second set, and 3-1 now. Things looking pretty good for Jess Pegula. Just take a moment to direct you to the US Open website. That's usopen.org. That's your online home for all the live scoring each and every day here from Flushing Meadows. Highlights, real-time stats, all the draws and schedules on there. That's the official tournament site, usopen.org.
15 love.
As a WTA title that came in Spain a few years ago in Tenerife. 2021, another 4 finals, including that one last week.
These top 5 wins are hard to come by, especially at majors. And An Lee is 0 for 4 so far in her career against players in that ranking range. I think one of the
30-15.
important parts about playing against top players, getting those upsets, is you've got to come out and have your strategy, have your game plan, and implement it from the beginning. And how well you execute it is another story. You've got to have in mind what you want to do. Hasn't quite felt like An Lee was in that space at the beginning of the match, and she's sort of working from behind still.
30-all.
She can hopefully, for a few misses from Pegula here, try to capitalize on it.
First double for the 4th seed. Still in fairly good shape here.
But it cannot have been the game plan for An Lee to just stay on the baseline with Pegula. She continues to be on the losing end of the majority of those rallies.
Game Pegula.
The coaching team likes
Pegula
that
leads by
serve.
4 games to 1. Second set.
And she cruises
And by 1 set to
into a
love.
4-1 Tuesday, of course, for quarterfinal tennis. Jessica and Townsend playing over on Armstrong today, and then Pegula in the same half as the defending champion Sabalenka, the player who beat her in the final last year. So that is a potential semi-final. We'll see how that one works out. Sabalenka potentially running into Rybakina in the quarters. So
15 love.
we'll see. Rybakina's been playing some good tennis.
Well, you could see the
15
intent for Lee there. She was looking to move forward after that forehand. Just didn't quite stay with it long enough. Came off of it too quickly.
Oh. 15-13.
It's a little bit of a cardinal sin. There's a couple of them. Can't miss a drop shot wide. And you can't miss a slice that is a neutralizing rally ball.
It's a nice tennis. Opening up the courts impressively that time.
30-all.
A bit fortunate with the second forehand, but again trying to take the ball on, take time away from Pegula.
Another good point.
30-40.
Excellent hitting from both players, but once again, Ann Lee losing that point from well back behind the baseline.
Looking to break for a 6th time today.
That's such a good serve. Extra kick on it. Driving Pegula outside. Doubles alley.
She's going to make this second set tighter. It has to start here. Has to start with a hold. Scramble through this game somehow. Mark Knowles will be loving what he's seen so far from Pegula, though.
Advantage. Lee.
Well, they've been hard to come by today, holds of serve for Ann Lee, but
by 4 games to 2.
with her
Second
credit
set.
there. Dug her heels in. Narrows the gap a touch. Importantly, just keeps it to a single break at this stage.
Love.
From early in this match, Pegula was looking to move forward. It's perfect in this second set. 7 of 7 points won at the net.
Briefly touched on her doubles prowess, former world #1 in doubles. She's
all.
comfortable moving forward, and when she's at the nets, compact net game.
Well, she played so many years with Coco Gauff in doubles. At one point, they were co-#1s. Decided she would focus a little more on her singles game, and I think that has been a good decision. If you remember, she was asked so often
15-30.
before last season and getting to the US Open final. She was asked, when are you going to maybe back off? Because she would play singles, doubles, and mixed.
Yeah.
When are you maybe going to back off on one of those events and have a little more attention to bring to singles? But she loves to play. Wouldn't hear of it.
There's an opening here for An Lee. There's not too many of these. 15-30, second serve.
Let second service.
And she was trying
30 all.
to generate another break point. Just got a little ahead of that forehand. She's playing well, Pegula.
40-30.
Lee has raised her level, and Pegula is matching her and staying just out in front.
Celebration from Pegula, bit of
Pegula
volume.
leads by 5-2.
Didn't see too much of that, but pleased to come through that game. Was behind at one stage so far today in the New York sunshine, and Lee looking to stay in it. Hasn't been allowed to settle today.
Love 15.
An unfamiliar environment, never easy, is it, when you step into Arthur Ashe Stadium for the first time?
Love 30.
And this is just good stuff from Pegula.
Such a Jess Pegula point, isn't it? Just pressure from the very first moment with the quality of the return. Easing up the court to finish the job. 2 points away. Now on the brink.
40.
And it's been so efficient that she hasn't had to stay on court even an hour so far. 54 minutes for the match. Fourth seed with 3 match points. Rock solid from Jessica Pegula today. She cruises into an 8th Grand Slam quarterfinal, a 3rd here at the Open. Was simply too good start to finish today. And it's looking like it's turning into another very good US Open for the number 4 seed. Zero stress today. Moving on into the final 8 here in New York. And the coaching team will be absolutely delighted, as Jess is too, with that scoreline. 1 and 2 today.
Back into another US Open quarterfinal. You don't take any of these results for granted, and Ann Lee can be dangerous. She's had a fantastic tournament, an excellent summer coming into the U.S. Open, but just couldn't quite match Pegula from the ground. Pegula served well, especially down the stretch when she needed to. And that second set could have gotten a lot trickier. But Pegula, again, showing her poise, her experience, and her firepower to get it done in straight sets.